Hello, good morning, guys. CMA aspirants. So, hope you are very good and very fine. So, again, happy morning. Okay, yeah, guys. See, till now we have completed three modules. Three modules. That is one, two, three. So, you have been completed very properly, and I assume that you listen to the classes very properly and you have practiced the questions also very beautifully. Okay, so now straight away we are moving to the fourth module, and the fourth module is very important. Okay, so it almost have the so much weightage comparing to in the weighted section. I know institute may be fluctuating when preparing the question paper, but still according to the institute material what is issued by, so fourth module contains a 20%. Okay, it is a very important module, so don't deviate from this and don't turn a deaf ear on this. Very easy, guys, simple problems, and only one thing is technically the questions are sound. Okay, so if you understand the concept and if you know where how to apply and where to apply, the topic becomes very easy to you. Okay, so why not waste the time? So straight away we move into the chapter. Application of operation research, production planning and control. See, till now you have understood operation, what do you mean by operation management and planning and steps and then product process and everything. Now where to apply and how to apply and which areas we have to apply, we are learning now here. And this module includes the introduction, production planning and control, control measures, time and motion study, method study, work study. Okay, and optimum allocation of resources, LPP, very important. This is one. Okay, so damn sure question. Okay, there is one damn sure question under this topic. And then transportation, again a very important topic. And job evaluation, job allocation, assignment, very important. And scheduling and queuing model, simulations. Okay, see these 1 2 3 4 5. So under this module these 5 parts are very important. Okay, you should not deviate from this, and you should not distract also. And some people may be getting some difficulties in such type of topics, but I tell you guys, so let me go with a simpler smoothness, and if you have any doubts in between, you can get back to me, and when the revision classes are going on, we can aram se do this. Okay, and only one thing, how can you tackle this means practice. So if you practice much and much, okay, much and more, the topics becomes very easy to you. Okay, yes, guys. So now see, production planning and control. Yeah, see, under that introduction, application of operation research. Application is different for various fields depending on the specific application. The appropriate operational research technique is issued to obtain the results. A few typical applications are listed below. Okay, see, this particular topic is telling in which areas the application research is being implemented and where does it apply properly. Okay, this is just a general note. Okay, even it's like a general note in the sense even you can read on your own. This is not like someone to be always attested and should be taken care of. Now see, but I would read the points for you, and I would wherever the important points comes, I would make those highlight. But this is a general topic. See, national planning and budgeting. So in the area of national planning and budgeting, we apply the OR. How and where? See, preparation of 5-year plan. See, basically budget plans for 5 years. Okay, and in that this operational research means how, suppose recently budget are also been issued. So behind this, so there is a 5 years operational research in every activities. So someone is looking into the activities what is taking care of on Indian level. So they come up with the solutions or updations regarding to those. And then annual budgets, so every year budgets. And then forecasting income and expenditure. Forecasting in the sense predicting the future. Okay, income and expenditure, how much the income could gain. So main income for government is nothing but taxable. Okay, so it is tax income only. And then expenditure, like how it is giving the subsidies, and then giving the subsidies or any fees reimbursement or scholarships from the government. Okay, so those comes under the expenditure section. And then scheduling major projects for national importance. Okay, so you might have seen that under the development program, they have been sanctioned the programs like schemes for the flyovers, roads, Okay, for the national importance, how they schedule the major activities, and the estimating GNP growth, that is gross national product and gross domestic product, population and employment also, and then generations agriculture yields. Yields is nothing but production. So this is national budgeting and planning. Easy, right? Next, defense service operation. So in the areas of defense service operation, how this operational research being implemented or applied. See, military principles lay greater importance on economy of efforts and surprise, elements to enemy to forces. Some applications are given below. See, development of new technology. See, we are moving every day with a new technology, guys. So we should not be outdated. So every day the technology should be updated. Then only we can straight away face the stiff competition in the market, or else we cannot. Once we are outdated means no one comes near to us to buy our products. Okay, next, optimization of cost and time in defense projects. So defense project means there are army, okay, related things, defense. So what are the cost and time? So in less time, what is the best materials you can produce, or else in the less cost, what are the items to be produced, so those to be taken care of. And tender evaluation technology and equipment, and sitting and layout of defense factories, assessment of threat analysis from the enemy. This is important, right? Operational research also, where does it apply? It assess the threat analysis from the enemy. So how much, suppose we have so many differences like difficulties from the China or Pakistan, okay, so how much the threat, or what percent we are expecting the threat from the enemy countries. So that also operational research would apply in that case. Then effective battle strategies and tactics, effective maintenance and replacement of equipments, and strategy of defense supplies during war and peace, vendor evaluation of canteen store departments, inventory control. Inventory is nothing but stock. Transportation problems during mobilization, operations, mock simulations exercises, ideal locations of supply depots to support or operational units. So here we have learned under two departments where the OR is implemented or applied, that is national planning and budgeting. One more is defense. Okay, third one now, industrial field. OR is applied in a number of cases. Some are given below. See, plant location and siting, finance planning, product and process planning, facility planning and the construction of factory building and layout, purchasing, vendor evaluation and bid evaluation, inventory control, maintenance management and replacement, personnel management, that is merit rating, incentive payments. Okay, so simple, general points, general topic it is. Next, R&D is nothing but research and development and engineering. This is the fourth area. First area is national planning and distribution. Second, national planning and budgeting. First one is second area is what? Defense. Third area is what? Industrial field. And fourth area is R&D, that is technology forecasting, so predicting the technology for the future, and technology evaluation, so which technology will be evaluated and according to the new upcoming generations. And then technology management, project management of turnkey projects, and system evaluation, preparation of tender, negotiation which are transferable, then value engineering and selection of components, and work method, study and activity sampling, etc. Okay, so the introduction, don't waste much of time, you should just know where and all the OR is applied. Okay, got it? So you have learned national planning and budgeting. Okay, then next is what? Second one is defense. Third one is industrial field. Fourth one is what? Fourth one is R&D. Okay, next fifth one, business management and competition. So taking business decisions under risk and uncertainty, capital investment and return, selection of business and the area of operations, decision making under competition, business strategy formation, optimum advertisement outlay, optimum sales force and their distribution, market survey and analysis, and market research technique, etc. This comes under business. Next, agriculture and irrigation. Even agriculture and irrigation also OR is applied. Project management of irrigation project and dams, constructions of major dams at minimum cost, so optimum distribution of irrigation canals, optimum location of supply points of inputs like seeds and fertilizers to the farmers, optimum location of collection points of agriculture outputs. Okay, that is comes under agriculture and irrigation. Next, education and training. So optimum number of schools and their locations, and optimum mix of students teachers ratio, and then optimum financial outlay to meet national objectives, and then optimum number of location of examination centers, and then supply department textbook stationery, which comes under examination. Okay, which comes under student education and training. Okay, Public Works Distribution, PWD. Okay, Public Works Department also. Time and cost control of regarding to roads, bridges, buildings. Okay, and then at what time estimation of completion of projects, and then maintenance and replacement, preparation of budget, evaluation, bids, estimation of various projects, selection of machines, those comes under Public Works Department. And transportation and communication, so again same, so public transport is utility, so railway department, project management, so estimate forecast of telephone demand, so selection of exchanges, busy hour call, those comes under transport and communication. Next, home management and budgeting, see, control of expenses mainly, time management, okay, work study methods in kitchen activity, okay, then older quantity, optimum purchases provisions, so surplus income, and then appropriate life insurance policies, properties, estimation of depreciation and the optimum premium of insurance. So those are those. Okay, you understood, right? Introduction. There are various areas where the OR is applied. Got it? So just go through with this. It is a general topic. Yeah, next one. Steps in solving a problem through operation research. Okay. Now suppose you have a problem and how you are going to tackle it and how you are going to find a solution. Okay, you found a solution, but that solution is not opting. So how to again change the solution with the better improvements? So these are all we are learning under steps in solving a problem through operation research. There are mainly 6 steps involved in solving a problem through operation research. These are as follows. First one, formation of a problem. See, without a problem, how to solve any case? So let not be this, let not be the subject ones. Wherever in life also, you need to solve something and you are worrying about something. First of all, you should know what is the reason of your worriness, correct? So the same way, suppose any solving of a problem, you should know what the problem exactly is lying in the activity or a case. That is the formation of a problem. From the definition of OR, we have seen that OR is a problem solving technique. Okay, OR is a what? Problem solving technique. Hence the first step is formulate the problem. And this is an important step because accuracy of a solution. If you want your solution to be very proper and 100% efficiency, you must tell what is your problem. Okay, depends to great extent of the correct formulation of the problem in regard to definition of terms, and then warning environment, influences of environmental factors and assumptions made, intention, objectives and constraints. In this step, following are to be clearly defined. See, what are the clearly should be defined? Input output processor objective constraints. Next one, independent variables which are controllable variables, then decision variables which are dependent variables, and parameters which are independent variables. So here being one independent variable, one is dependent and another are independent variables. These are factors put together to make or formulate a problem. Okay, next, second step is what? Making a model. Okay, see, now you know the problem. So which type of method would able to overcome the problem? So you should at least gather 3 or 4 methods or 3 or 4 models which would able to solve that particular problem. We have seen that model are essential to analyze the problems and identify the various factors like input, output, constraint, etc. Constraints being parameters which are dependent and independent variables here. In addition, it will also establish the relationship between input, often referred to as a parameter, and output, often referred to as a decision variables. And mathematical model are often built up in this step, which give information on the following. See, relationship of input and output. Mainly what we are finding, relationship of input and output, constraints under which operation takes place. Okay, the objective function. Objective function is nothing but profitable function. This always we denote with Z. Okay, objective function, remember this. On this we have so many sums also. Objective function is very important for any type of problem. Okay, objective function is nothing but it is mainly subject to the constant and it gives you what you know, it is a profitable function. Okay, either minimize or maximize. So Z is equal to f of x. This is a objective function. And a subject to the constant is nothing but, suppose there are 2 factors. Okay, 2 factors in the sense, so there are A and B. A is producing tea, B is producing coffee. Okay, and then these 2 businesses are taken by C, and C is the leader here, C is the manager, and under C A and B are working. One is tea, one is coffee, and C must make a objective function how much is the profit is getting from the A and how much is the profit can we get from the B. Okay, now A, make sure that he should also get some profit, right? And according to A, how much he need to get, and according to B, how much he need to get. Here A and B, that means the producers of coffee and tea become the subject to constraints, whereas the C, that is a manager or a owner, becomes the objective function. Understood? Yes. And then see, step number 3, solution to a problem, derivation. Okay, derivation is what, you know, a problem is created and you have taken the module also, and taking the model, right, under that model you should derive properly which is dependent, which is independent, and which to be applied on what and where. That is a derivation. In this step, the mathematical model developed in a step 2 is solved through the scientific methods. So a solution must satisfy the objective function as well as constraints. So these are various scientific methods or techniques available, such as LPP. This is LPP, linear programming function, LPP means. Okay, and then transportation, assignment, algorithm, game theory, queuing theory, statistical method, probability loss. So these are the various methods under which we can solve the models, or which we have formulated a problem in the step 1, right? And step 2, what did we do? We had just discussed about the models, and third step we have to derive that scientific methods, which is it. Next, valuation of a model. Absolutely right. You now collect the models also. Now you have to go with validation of a model. So a model is said to be a valid if it gives a reliable result, that is output for a set of inputs under the given conditions. Such a validation is possible for a limited period of time. In due course of time, the original assumptions and conditions in which the model was developed also change. Hence, it is essential to check the validity of a model from time to time. Okay, it is a validation of a model. Suppose I can give you an example of, I gave a project. Find the marks of 10th standard, marks of SSLC for maths for one test. What would you do? You would just select the models, either Excel or either written work or either taking a help of friends. You wish to solve that problem. But I gave a project again, that finding the maths marks of SSLC of at least 3 years, like 3 batches. So 2020, 21, 22. So these 3 years I need 10th marks for maths. So what would you do? You should check the, of course you could do the data very properly, and here how much the data is valid you should check before you get the data to me. Correct? So that is what, from time to time, the valid of a model is very, very important. That is validity. Okay, whether the model which you adopted is valid right now or not. Suppose you might have gone with a tally and did all the SSLC marks, but in 2023 I do not want the tally marking. I want something to be in Excel with a numbering format, and I want something to be done in a pivot table, so that on whichever number I click, I get the information as soon as if I click on that. I need not to select and turn the pages, right? So validity of a model which you selected 3 years before was just writing in a paper, but right now I am expecting a model of giving in it Excel. That is a validation of a model. Next, coming with the 5, feedback and control of solution. Okay, so control is nothing but control. Always don't think, control, we have 2 different meanings. One is managing or controlling the activities of the factors. Another meaning is nothing but comparing the standards with actuals. So that is also comes under control meaning. Feedback and control on solutions. Solutions are derived from the model of a set of environmental conditions. In this derivation, a number of assumptions are also made in regard to the cost and quality of an input, like labor and materials, performance characteristics and technology of a plants and machinery, and the market conditions like price and demand. These are called information variables, and when such variables change significantly in the field, the original solution goes out of control. Hence, these variables are applied to make the solution fall within acceptable limits. Control is applied either on the method of solution or on the design of the model itself. Understood feedback? Next, finally, is implementation. You selected a model, you validate a model, and you are also very feedback is very good. then implement it. That means then execute it. Very, very important question this is. You may expect a theory question. See, implementation of the solution is very important step because proof of the pudding is in it eating. See, proof of the pudding is it eating. In this step, the OR specialist team must work in a close coordination with the field staff, and the OR team must brief the field staff in regard to the operating conditions of the solution and basic assumptions made therein. They must also be belief in regard to its limitations along with advantages and capabilities. They must also lay down in the clear terms of the method of operation and procedure along with the precautions and the corrective mechanism wherever applicable. This is an implementation. Now see, we have the sixth step. First step is what? Problem, formatting the problem. Second step is what? Model. Third step is what? Derivation. Fourth step is what? Validation. Fifth step is what? Feedback. Sixth step is what? Implementation. Okay, don't forget. Next, methodology in operation research. Basically, there are three methods used for operation research. Very, very important. Analytical method, trial and error method, simulation method. Analytical, trial and error, you may expect this for MCQ. Simulation method. First one, see, analytical method. Here you basically analyze the things. In this model, the OR techniques are developed mostly based on mathematical modeling. So the method of solution also depends on classical steps and techniques in mathematics, like the use of different calculus, integration. So different using of differential calculus, integration, sets, matrices, vector algebra and coordinate geometry. So if you see these topics and if you are coming from background of maths in your +2, so you would at least understand this concept very easily. If you do not also from the maths background, very fine, I will teach you. Okay, the upcoming parts, it will include those. Examples are EOQ, okay, economic optimum quantity. We have already solved so many questions on this. And graphical solution for product mix through LPP. It is not LP, LPP. And it is a deterministic model. Which is a deterministic model? Analytical method. Next one, trial and error method. The analytical method of solution has its limitations. Some problems and models fail to yield a solution through classical, mathematical or graphical methods. Trial and error method is used here. Wherever the mathematical methods fails to produce a solution, there we enter the trial and error method. In this method, a certain algorithm is developed. One straight point is in its initial solution, which is the first approximation. The method of solution is repeated with a certain set of rules so that the initial solution is gradually modified at each subsequent solution till an optimal result is reached. These are certain laid down to the check whether the solution has become an optimal solution. The trial solutions are called iterations and the method is linear programming. This is a deterministic model. Okay, this is also being deterministic model. Don't worry about trial and error method. What happens, in the trial and error method, first you find a solution. You find that solution is that the cost what you found is more. Then you at least change some variables in between and again you find a solution. Again the cost is also more. So until and unless the cost gets satisfied to you, you keep changing and finding the optimal solution. That comes under trial and error method. Next, simulation method, very important method. Solution of a problem using the principles of statistics, sampling and probability is called simulation method. What is simulation method? Solution of a problem using the principles of statistics, sampling and probability is called simulation. So when we go to the simulation problems, you understand this very easily. This method is applied where the data is insufficient or where the situation is quite uncertain or when it is impossible to generate data by direct measurement. In such situations, samples are created as faithfully as possible to represent the real situation called the universe. In order to establish the nature of events, the following devices are used. What are those devices? Random tables, mechanical devices, electronic computers, and typical examples are Monte Carlo simulation in queuing problem and a simulation of performance of aircraft flight, and then these are stochastic models. Understood, guys? So you have so many problems under this simulation method. So which method is stochastic model? Stochastic model is nothing but So which you find it on a simulation and a queuing model using Monte Carlo. Okay, got it? And that's it. Got it here? Yes. Yeah. So here comes with, we completed what? Methods also. Methodologies. There are 3 methodologies: analytical, trial and error, and then one more is last, what? Sampling. Okay, sampling, simulation. Next one, OR techniques. Now there are few techniques in OR. So which are the techniques would able the problem to be solved very easily? See, probability theory. Probability means where happening of event is this much and not happening of event is so much. So that comes under probability. Statistical methods, and then frequency distribution, graphing solution, that is LPP, linear programming simplex, transportation algorithm, assignment of problem, game theory, decision tree approach. So these are techniques you do not have in your syllabus, only few are there. So we will learn those only. So replacement theory, simulation model, PRT and CPM method, okay, and then break-even analysis, forced decision matrix method, DCF and NPV. So trend analysis and time series, correlation techniques, variance analysis, significance analysis, statistical quality control technique, dynamic programming. So in this, a few methods are right now for you and few methods comes in finals. Okay, next. OR techniques are application specific. Maximum benefit can be derived from the selecting the most appropriate technique for each specific area or problem. Appropriate selection of OR is an equally important task. Each technique has its own advantage and limitations. In certain cases, computations is easy. Some are amenable to compute applications. In all such cases, the ability of the manager is tested in an appropriate selection of OR technique. Some examples are listed below. This is by no means an exhaustive list. Okay, see, so you need not to go through with this. It is just for information purpose they gave that list. See, that is nothing but what is the functional area and what problem arises there and which technique applies there. See, production management, under siting and selection, location dynamics, and then routing travel charts, and factory layout and product, and then process planning. So under each and each different specific problem, you have each and each different technicality is available, okay, applicable in these areas. Okay, got it? The general part, kindly go through those things. Next, nature and features of operational research. Now, what is the nature and what are the features of this OR? See, existence of a problem. So see, if you are considering a OR means definitely a problem is there and you have to going to solve a solution for the problem which is derived as a best solution by using various techniques. Next, intention to solve the problem, of course, application of system concept and system analysis to the problem, scientific approach and formation of group consistency and multidisciplinary team, and team is constituted by management, OR assistings and the roles, and then solution must be optimum and it must be appropriate and it must meet objective within the constraints, and the solution must be given in quantifiable terms. So solution must be practical, applicable, specific and result oriented. Okay, now scope is nothing but areas. Okay, you already learned this, right? Which are all the areas where this operational research applicable. In the first only you learned, that is national planning and budgeting, and then defense, okay, and then education and training, R&D, industrial distribution, agriculture and irrigation projects, education training, public work, transportation communication, home management, personal budgeting. So these already you learned. So same topics, if suppose scope is asked, no, so one heading you give, under that each and at least 3 points you explain. Okay, these are all we already learned in the introduction part only, correct? Yes. Next one, functions, important again. So functions of operational research: provide scientific basis to decision making. Okay, see, OR emphasizes scientific methods in the analysis and interpretation of facts and data. This will enable managers to take decisions based on facts scientifically arrived at. This will also improve the objectivity of analysis and assessment situations. Next, see, provide scientific basis to decision making. Okay, now I have a problem. Okay, I want to take a decision regarding a problem of the quantity, how much to sell in the market. So if I use a mathematical model, what happens? I would not get the optimum solution. If I would get optimal solution also, I would not be knowing whether it is the optimal or not. That's why I have to go for the scientific basis. In this, what happens, I would find the optimal solution and I would change or alter the constraints in it, and again I find the optimal solution, and according to my methods and errors I would easily find which solution is best. So this is nothing but providing scientific basis to decision making, the function. Okay, first one is provide specific like a scientific basis to decision making. Second one, reduce complex problems to simple problems. Let the problem be any complex, let the problem be ultimate complexity, but still we find the simple solution and we convert that into simple problem and we can solve that by using the OR techniques. Next, bringing in trade offers. Management often come across situations in which it has satisfy objectives which are in the conflict with each other. Okay, so suppose there are sufficient quantities. With the use of sufficient quantities, you have to provide the best solution. Okay, see here, a typical example is inventory control. A production manager would like to see that all his raw materials and components are stocked in sufficient quantities and well in time, so that there is no fear of stock out and production holdups. Material managers, on the other hand, would recommend a course to order minimum quantity at a time and hold it in the stores for the minimum period. Okay, and then attempts to reduce the quantity of an order will increase order cost, since more orders will be necessary. If quantity per order is increased to reduce the number of orders and thereby the order cost, it will increase the inventory carrying cost. Okay, the optimal solution lies between these two objectives as seen by the production manager and material manager separately, because according to the material manager perspective the decision is different, according to the production manager his perspective is different, and this is what trade-off decisions or finds where the trade-off takes place when total cost is minimum. So according to the equation of economic order quantity, it is derived. So easy, right? Trade-off nothing but two different perspectives to find the optimum solution. So you have completed three functions. Next one, fourth function is provide system integration. So OR integrated system, in this system approach the problem is seen as the whole and not as parts. Okay, very easy, no? So from OM you can understand and you can relate to your own life also. See the problem never been as a bits or like a pieces and pieces. See the entire problem as whole. Okay, in a holistic approach the main system consists of a number of subsystems. All such subsystems must be fully integrated into the main systems and works as a signal system to meet the same objective. And this in other words it is called a goal congruence. So goal congruence means goal oriented. So the OR team consists of experts from different disciplines which are the subsystems, but all of them work towards a single objective to arrive at an optimum solution to the given problem. This is an integral approach. In order to achieve optimization of the whole system, sub-optimizations of subsystems can be found necessary at trade-off consideration. So you already learned what is meant by trade-off, correct? Next, optimization of resources. So we have learned from the beginning only optimization of resources. Okay, you should not waste the resources which are with you. You should make utilize of the resources optimally and very properly. Okay, next, minimizing time. See, suppose the chapter I am teaching for you, when I was teaching this subject 2 years back, it was taking so much time to me because I was new to this subject. Okay, and now when I am teaching to you, I am experienced. Okay, now I am taking the less time to complete the portions, because here what happens, I could able to on experience basis I know these topics. Okay, and that is what my time what I was taking to complete the chapter earlier, it was almost 4 to 5 hours. Now what time I am taking here, hardly 1 hour to 2 hours. Okay, so that is what minimizing the time when you follow those. Okay, PERT project timing, and by adopting the techniques in OR, so how you minimize the time, minimizing cost also again by using the techniques, and maximizing profit. What are the two objectives? Earlier what we learned in the beginning of the classes, optimum use of resources, maximizing the profits, correct? Yes, selection of best alternative. So you have so many techniques within you. In that so many techniques, you implement each and every technique. Under which technique you derive the best optimal solution, you take that. Okay, and solution to specific problem. Okay, so all problems are not same. Each problem is very different at its specific level. So you should give the problem also to its specific levels. So some solutions need accurate answers with high technicability. So where areas, the normal problems which would require the normal solutions. Okay, that's it. And then limitations of OR techniques. Okay, limitations of OR techniques. So let it be any topic, let it be anywhere. As there are disadvantages, there will be limitations also. There will be disadvantages too. Okay, so only there are 5 disadvantages being given. See, information gap. OR is a specialist work. It involves a lot of mathematical manipulation, use of various theories like games, statistical, probability, queuing, etc. Unless the manager has a sufficient knowledge of mathematics, he will not be able to appreciate and understand the philosophy and working based on which the OR team has developed the solution similarly. Similarly, OR specialist is unable to understand many other aspects of business like the goodwill of the customer, the feelings, sentiments and attitude of workers of the expectations of the owners. Many of these facts cannot be quantified. Hence, there is a big gap or information gap between the OR specialist and the management. Due to this gap, managers look upon OR as a theoretical solution and reject the same without giving a fair chance to prove its worthiness. So this will also enforce the natural tendency of resist changes. Information gap. Okay. Suppose, see, as I am teaching, I would it's not a rule that I would know all the topics. Being a student, you would know more than me. Maybe not in this subject, other subject. As like I am a teacher, I should not wash you off. No, you should listen to this and you should do this. It is not properly correct. I should give a chance to you to prove your worthiness. Maybe suppose I solved a problem and you solved that problem in a very best method and which is very easy to, and I have to give a chance to you so that you can prove its worthiness. So definitely next time when I solve that question which is solved by you in easy method, I would adopt that method and sell to the other students, and I will definitely tell them this solution was solved by my student. Correct? That is the information gap. And qualification technique. OR works on quantifiable terms and figures. All factors like goodwill, attitude, expressions, etc. cannot be quantified. See, mainly OR is only for the quantifiable. And when you see a qualifiable terms like goodwill, attitude, so those cannot be captured. That also OR being failed. Next, finite variables. OR deals with finite number of variables. Most of them deal with the 2 sets of variables, that is independent variable and dependent variable. In an actual solution, there are a large number of variables which influences the input, the processor, and consequently the output also. These are not considered only. That is a limitation again. So limited number of constraints. So same to the above point it is. And single objective function. So see, any type of OR problem we have only one objective function. We do not have multiple things. So that is also a problem of OR. Got it? So what did we learn here? We learn under introduction. Introduction, what did we learn? Under each personal areas where how the OR is being used. Okay, operational research is being used. Next one, see. Steps. Forming a problem and then making a model and then solution to problems and then validation and then feedback and then finally implementation. And then methodology and operation, analytical method, trial and error method, simulation method, and then comes to the operational research or techniques. So what are the techniques are there, and then comes to the areas already we have learned, and nature and technique, that is features, it's important, functions also very important. Okay, 6 functions are there, 7, 8, 9, total 10 functions are there, and limitations 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, only 5 points are there. Okay, so easy, right? Introduction is, so don't worry about this particular one. It's just a theory type. When you go to problems wise, those are all easy. So upcoming all are problems only in this lesson, but so some theory, heavy theory part is there. We have to complete those theory to understand the depth of the solution. See, solution is nothing but a question is been given, concept is been taught, we solved, and nothing. CMA is not like that. You should formulate the solution, and whether it is best or not, you should comment about it. Comment only gets good marks in CMA finals also, and Inter too. If you are able to comment very properly about any product, about your solution, if that opts for the answer, definitely you get full marks. Okay, so that's why theory is very important. Got it? Yes. Next class we'll start production planning and control. Okay.